Hello, my name is Owen Matus. I am an exchange student at IE from the University of Virginia in the United States, majoring in accounting and minoring in art history. I will be presenting my close-looking assignment from the exhibit Picasso 1906 at the Reina Sofia Museum. The first parameter of analysis that we will be analyzing is the face, and we'll be focusing on Picasso's Fernanda's Head and Head of a Young Woman, both from the year 1906. In Fernanda's Head, which is the painting on the left, the face of Fernanda Olivier, Picasso's partner and muse during this period, is depicted quite geometrically and with angular lines. Despite this non-natural depiction, both in form and in the subdued color palette, Fernanda retains a sense of recognizability and individuality. Picasso captures Fernanda's features with a certain degree of likeness, which allows her personality to shine through in this painting. In Head of a Young Woman, seen on the right, Picasso also depicts the subject geometrically and with angularity, but to a much greater extent than in Fernanda's Head. This results in the face having a mask-like appearance where the features are simplified and stylized. This was common during Picasso's Cubist phase, where he drew inspiration from traditional African masks. While Fernanda's Head maintains the individuality and personality of his muse, in Head of a Young Woman, the face's mask-like appearance creates some ambiguity and removes the subject's individuality. In other words, the face becomes an archetype rather than a specific individual. Moving on to the second parameter of analysis, we will be analyzing the human body through Picasso's The Model and Women at Their Toilet. In The Model, an early work from 1896, as we see on the left, Picasso demonstrates a more traditional approach to the human figure. His earlier style here is influenced by his academic training, showing a relatively realistic depiction of the model. His lines are smoother and the proportions are more conventional. In Women at Their Toilet, which is on the right, from 1956, we see significant transformations in Picasso's rendering of the human body. We see the influence of Cubism in this piece, as Picasso has a more abstract and fragmented approach to depicting the human body. The figures are deconstructed into geometric shapes and angular forms, reflecting Picasso's interest in breaking down reality into its essential components. With the model, Picasso represents the nude human body with solidity and volume. The figure is relatively naturalistic, with recognizable features and a sense of three-dimensionality. Picasso captures the model's physical presence with a certain degree of realism. In contrast, the depiction of the human body in Women at Their Toilet is more abstract and stylized. The figures are fragmented and distorted, with exaggerated forms and simplified features. Picasso emphasizes the underlying structure of the body through geometric shapes and intersecting lines, which challenges the traditional notions of representation of the human body that we see in the model. The third parameter that we will analyze is color, focusing on El Greco's Saint Sebastian from 1610 to 1614 and Picasso's Nude with Joined Hands from 1906. El Greco's Saint Sebastian, as seen on the left, uses a rich palette of deep, somber tones. He uses mostly dark colors such as blacks, browns, and blues. This gives the painting a sense of solemnity and spirituality in order to convey the pain and suffering experienced by the martyred saint. In contrast, Picasso's Nude with Joined Hands, as seen on the right, from 1906, has a warm and vibrant color palette of reds, pinks, and oranges, which evokes a sense of vitality, sensuality, and even a touch of intimacy. While El Greco's color scheme evokes a somber sense of reverence and introspection, Picasso's use of color evokes a feeling of warmth and life. The fourth parameter we will analyze is lines and shapes. We will analyze the lines and shapes in Picasso's Nude Sitting from 1905 and Naked Woman Seated from 1899. In Picasso's Nude Sitting, as seen on the left, the lines and shapes have a sense of fluidity and movement. The figure is depicted with curved lines, emphasizing the soft contours of the body. Shapes are organic and flowing, and they evoke a rhythm and a harmony. In contrast, Picasso's Naked Woman Seated from 1899 which is seen on the right, exhibits a more angular and geometric approach to lines and shapes. The figure is composed of bold, angular lines, conveying a sense of solidity and structure. The shapes are simplified and stylized, with an emphasis on geometric forms such as triangles and rectangles. The angular structure of the work conveys tension, which contrasts the harmonious feeling of nude sitting. The fifth and final parameter that we will be analyzing is light and shadows. We will analyze light and shadows in Picasso's Two Naked Women from 1906 and Fernanda Olivier from 1905 to 1906. In Picasso's Two Naked Women, light and shadows plays a crucial role in defining the forms within the composition. The light source appears to be from the upper left, casting a deep shadow that falls on the bodies of the two women. Picasso uses strong contrast between light and dark, also known as chiaroscuro, to emphasize the three-dimensional quality of the figures. The highlights and shadows sculpt the bodies, which accentuates their curves and contours. In contrast, Fernanda Olivier uses more subtle shadows and softer light. The shadows are gentler and less pronounced, contributing to a sense of delicacy and intimacy in the portrayal of Fernanda. The light source casts a subtle shadow that gently molds the planes of her face and body, and the overall effect is more subdued compared to the bold contrast seen in Two Naked Women, which creates an overall sense of intimacy and warmth in this painting. This concludes my analysis of 10 works from the Reina Sofia Museum's exhibition Picasso 1906. As a recap, my analysis covered 10 works across 5 key parameters, which were the face, the human body, color, lines and shapes, and light and shadows. Thank you for listening to my analysis, and I hope you enjoyed my insights. Have a wonderful day.